Anthropic just revealed that Chinese state-sponsored hackers used Claude Code to execute what they're calling the first large-scale cyber attack run almost entirely by AI. The most unique part of this story is that it was not AI giving advice to hackers, but AI was actually doing the hacking. To give you some background, in mid September, the attackers targeted roughly 30 organizations, major tech companies, financial institutions, chemical manufacturers, and government agencies. They succeeded in breaking into a handful of them. But Johannes, can you tell us more about how the attack actually worked?
Sure, Tiffany. So this attack is important because it's one of the first cases where an AI system didn't just assist human hackers, it did, as you mentioned, most of the operational work itself. Anthropic's own analysis says Claude Code handled about 80 to 90% of the activity, with the human operator stepping in only at few key decision points in each campaign. At a high level, the attack followed the classic intrusion playbook, but on AI autopilot. In the reconnaissance phase, Claude was tasked with discovering internal services, mapping networks, and identifying high-value targets across roughly 30 organizations. Once it had that picture, the exploitation phase kicked in. The AI generated customer exploit code, scanned for known and misconfigured vulnerabilities, and then validated whether those exploits actually opened a way in. From there, Claude moved into credential harvesting, systematically pulling usernames and passwords it could access, and then testing those credentials across different systems to see where they unlocked deeper access. After gaining a threshold, it handled the data extraction, parsing large volumes of stolen information, and categorizing it by intelligent value so human operators could focus only on the most interesting assets. Finally, it even took care of documentation, generating detailed records of what it found, what worked, what failed, effectively keeping its own operations log for the attackers. The clever part, from the attacker side, was how they got around the model's safety guidelines. They didn't ask Claude to hack this company. Instead, they jailbroke it by role-playing as a legitimate cybersecurity firm running defensive tests. They broke the operation into many small, innocent-looking tasks, scanned this range for open port, analyzed these logs, test this code snippet. So Claude never saw the full malicious picture and treated it as routine security work. And there was an ironic limitation. Claude still hallucinated. In Anthropic's case study, the model sometimes claimed to have extracted credentials that did not actually work and flagged critical discoveries that turned out to be public information. That forced the attackers to validate what the AI produced, which shows we are not yet at the point where you can run a fully autonomous, error-free cyber campaign purely with an agentic model. Anthropic ultimately detected a pattern of suspicious activity in mid-September, investigated it over about 10 days, shut down the accounts involved, and notified authorities and impacted organizations. But the real headline here is the shift in labor model of hacking. What used to take a coordinated team of skilled operators can now be orchestrated by a much smaller group using an AI agent as a scalable workforce. Over the next 6 to 12 months, we should expect to see the same thing on the defense side. Security teams deploying their own agentic AI for continuous monitoring, automated threat hunting, and rapid response. Organizations that do not adapt to that AI versus AI reality are going to find themselves badly outpaced.